Yay, thank you so much. Brighten us, wake us up a little bit this morning. Good morning. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Lansing. I'm Reverend Sharon Ketchum, and this is an exciting day for me because it marks 9 years here. We started the first Sunday in July, so we're into year 10. Let's see what happens. Yay! Greg Denning was the board president. He called me up to say, we'd like to hire you. I remember that call. Yeah. Oh, so time goes 9 years. I was so much younger then. Yeah, we all were. Roll back the clock. Anyway, welcome to you that are joining us online. We've come a long way online in the last 9 years too, yeah. If you're with us for the first time, a very special welcome. I hope you received a little bag of popcorn just to thank you for popping in with us today. Our coffee bar is open, snack bar is open. I brought in a cake. I think we've decimated it by now. Nothing like cake in the morning to just say that it's a special day. Okay, and we are still going strong with our prayer ministry. Our prayer box is over there if you have any concerns or celebrations. Our prayer team will pray with you for the next 30 days, and then we forward it to Silent Unity for an additional 30 days of prayer. Let's affirm our mission statement together. We spiritually awakened to our oneness with God, with each other, and with all creation. And this comes out of that idea of a world powerfully transformed through a growing movement of a shared spirituality, understanding that it's not finding the right path, that there's only one path, but honoring ourselves on our own individual journeys as we honor each other on their spiritual journeys. One light, one God, many lamps, many paths. Let's affirm together. The enlightenment of the Buddha shines within us. The compassion of the Christ moves through us. The power of Jehovah strengthens and guards us. The presence of Allah surrounds and guides us. Wherever we are, the Tao is, and all is God. Greg's going to lead us in a morning prayer.
This is our baby song, the one that we
sponsored. Our baby song, yes, we did sponsor this.
Before the craziness begins, I breathe deep and go within. Here I am, an empty cup. I pray, God, please fill me up. Help me see your grand design. Lead me to a quiet mind. Right now I have all I need. All that's left to do is breathe. Before the craziness begins, I breathe deep and go within. Here I am, an empty cup. I pray, God, please fill me up. Help me see your grand design. Lead me to a quiet mind. One more time I breathe you in before the craziness begins.
And as we continue to breathe, what a great time to pray together. And on this 4th of July weekend, a special prayer. We did it last week, and we'll bookend this time of celebrating our country's birthday by affirming together again. Together, there is one presence and one power active in the United States and in all creation, God the good omnipotent. In this truth I affirm, I am because we are. We are one nation, woven from many stories, cultures, and dreams. Though diverse in background, we are united in spirit. Divine love connects us. Divine wisdom guides us. Divine life flows through every city, every state, every soul. I release the idea of separation and affirm the truth of our shared humanity. Where there is division, I call forth unity. Where there is injustice, I affirm the power of truth and transformation. Where there is fear, I speak peace. May we remember, no one is diminished when we lift another. No one is forgotten when we live from love. I hold a vision of an America where all are valued, all are heard, all are free to thrive. I am because we are. We are because God is, and so it is. Amen. And today is the Dalai Lama's 90th birthday. Isn't that? And he has decided that he will reincarnate, but he would like to get, I forget if he said 30 or 40 more years he figured he'd be living. So I hope I'm around to be with him for the next 40 years. But he's not the only one having birthdays. We got some other birthdays, because it is July, so if it's your birthday this month, come on up so we can sing to you. My daughter turned 40 yesterday and found her first gray hairs. God bless her. Okay. Pick a birthday card.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you're
wonderful.
wonderful. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, ladies. Well, tomorrow is a big holiday, too, because it's World Chocolate Day. And I was thinking, a little discussion at your table, what other food do you think should have its own day? What other food should have its own day? I'm sure we all have our favorites. And I'm going to ask that nobody says peas, because I don't know what I would do if there was a day for peas.
Peas?
Peas.
World peas, yeah.
Oh, World Day of Peas. World Day of Peace, maybe.
Well, there you go. Gosh, there's so many, right?
Yeah.
Jill said ice cream. So, and Sandra Boynton always has holidays every single day, pretty much of the year, where she picks. Maybe she's not making it up. I don't know, but there's National Pizza Day and all that. So donuts, whatever.
Well, this I understand is worldwide because it was the food of the gods.
Yeah.
You know.
Chocolate.
And yeah.
So.
Somebody I was reading actually used to, instead of sugar, they put chili in it. So it was a spice. Chili and chocolate's a whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I've never tried that combination.
See, the other food I think about have chocolate in it, like Brownie Day. I love a really good brownie with walnuts and chunks of chocolate in it.
Yeah, I like the chunks of chocolate, not so much the walnuts, but yeah.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's so many different
going
ways.
Back to chocolate.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, a good steak, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, steak and then chocolate for dessert.
Well, yeah, that's a perfect meal.
Exactly. Maybe a little red wine with that.
Well, give me a Diet Coke, but yeah.
But yeah. Oh, I didn't grab my clicker, so I'm gonna grab my clicker.
Okay.
Because
so
then
you
we're
can
gonna
do that.
then we're gonna
Go
be
back.
sing about one big family.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
grab my clicker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Body, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Good morning. I'm
Good
Maggie
morning.
Bishop, for your platform assistant for today. Our daily word is possibilities, inspired by Jesus' words in the Gospel of Luke, for nothing will be impossible with God. There are no limits to what our minds can imagine. We may find a challenge too big to overcome or too complex to work through. In the past, we might have avoided such challenges, but today we turn within for guidance. Within our inner sanctuary, we find infinite possibilities. For God, nothing is or ever could be impossible. As a spiritual being, we can open our minds so that these possibilities can enter our imagination. With spiritual sight, we begin to comprehend what is possible. We emerge from prayer time filled with inspiration and clarity, ready to take the steps necessary to make our vision a reality. We return again and again to the limitless field of infinite potential, where we can claim divine ideas and know the presence and power of God is and through all things. Let us affirm together. I open my mind to limitless possibilities. What a perfect Sunday to reflect on one of Unity Spiritual Center's core values, the value of freedom. We have each been gifted with the freedom to be, to explore, and to express beyond any misperceived personal limitations. We experience life as a matrix of oneness, so our own freedom is mutually dependent on the freedom of others, to explore and to live free and unlimited. Freedom is a powerful force of spirit. It breathes in us as a right to life, not only for ourselves, but for every living being. Let us be a champion of that right. Let us affirm our core value together. We champion individuals' freedom to become a full expression of spirit. And now it's my pleasure to welcome Rachael Gates to share her freedom through music.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, but rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish could be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La da da dee da da da. La da da dee da do.
Too bad rainbows weren't edible. That would be a good day to have for food, eating rainbow food. Oh, there. Oh, well, last week I introduced you to, be back there. We started this new Founders Restoration Fund. We were founded in 1934, so we're raising $19,340 to do some repairs and refurbishing with a little left over, so that, because I don't know if you know, just as you age, and that includes buildings, sometimes it needs a little more care, on there. So I wanted to say we're up to $7,050. So very exciting. Yeah, we're well on our way. So thank you, everybody, for however you're supporting this. Last week I told you a story about a man who went to the bank and he wanted to take out a business loan, and his collateral was a great big idea. So the guy went on, he said he told his friend about this business he was starting. He was thinking of starting a meditation business. And his friend said, well, how are you going to make money from that? And he responded, well, it's about mind over matter. Now, we say, yeah, okay, but he's just dreaming, sky dreams like that. But we really come to understand that it really is about our mind, our consciousness, having more impact on our lives than what we see on the outside, the matter, the things that, not things that matter, those are invisible, but the things that we touch, the things that entertain our five senses, because they're heavy, because they're pretty, whatever it might be, but they're sometimes very engaging with our senses. So last week I didn't have the time to tell you this story, but I wanted to share a story about this farmer. If anybody knows farmers, especially non-corporate farmers, it's a very tough life. You have good years and bad years, and you kind of hope to make it through. You only do it out of love. You're not doing it to get rich, but to work with the land, work with the animals. And this farmer, James, he happened to hit a really bad year of drought, and all of his crops dwindled, and it seemed really disastrous. And as he was contemplating this, he remembered something he had heard at church, that God is the source of all supply. And sometimes when we have no place else to go, we revert to something that comes up to us random like that. So he really focused every day on God as the source of my supply. But he didn't just do that. He kept tilling his soils, he kept taking care of his animals, he kept doing all the things that needed to be done, knowing he didn't have to know the how, something would happen. And his neighbors, of course, were also suffering droughts, and he had very much of an open door policy. Whatever little they did have, he shared with his neighbors, and they were making it through day by day. One day there was a knock at the door. This young woman was there, and she said, I hear you're having a little trouble with the drought. My name's Sheila, I'm a horticulturalist, and we're studying new ways of doing farming. Would you be open to doing something different? And he said, sure. She says, I heard about you from your neighbors because you seem to have been so helpful. So he worked with her with the irrigation system, and they were able to have a great crop, and he was able to have more than enough by the end of the season. What a wonderful example of somebody who looked beyond appearances back to truth. He didn't stop doing his work. He didn't stop doing his work physically. He also didn't stop doing his work mentally. So often we have a problem. We invest so much mental energy into our problem in worry and fear that we can really get it's like our glasses get fogged up. We can't see what's really going on. Going back all the time to the truth that God is the source of our supply, even though there are many, many channels. At some point in time of human evolution, from back in the caveman days, remember it well, in evolution there was a big breakthrough that was called involution, where you finally get an aha moment within you. And just think, at some point a caveman got I can choose how I'm going to respond to the world. I don't have to do what my ancestors did, what my tribe mates did. I always get to choose how I respond to that lion, how I respond to that fire, how I respond to that storm. I have the respond ability within me. And that's what really responsibility for our life is, our respond ability. That is always within our power. We get to choose and choose again and choose again. That farmer could have been chosen to just be despondent and sat there and lost the farm. Instead, he chose to respond in consciousness and also physically doing the work that was his to do. So this is one of the laws of the universe, the laws of consciousness. We notice things happen to us all the time. It's hot out, traffic's bad, traffic's good, whatever that might be. And then we get the things happen to us. It feels really personal. It's not just the whole world happening around us, but things that are really personal. And sometimes you feel like the universe has it out for you. You're on their radar, whatever. And then we finally get it that no matter what happens to us or around us, it's always what happens in us that really matters. What happens in us that brings forth a truth, brings forth an energy, brings forth even a new perspective on how things are going. So there are these laws in the universe, and there are things that are under our control within the laws and things that are without our control. We can't control the weather. We can't control the stock market. We cannot control other people, and believe me, I've tried. Maybe before they walk. I don't know, but even then, they get hungry when they want to. Things we are in control of. We get to control what goes into our minds, and we get to control what comes out of our mouth. Sometimes we make mistakes on that. We have our weak moments, but this is what's in our control. This is really within that realm of our ability to respond, our respondability. There's also a law of sequence and consequences. We know like karma, what goes out comes back to you. We know that if we light a match, we start a fire. I mean, we understand sequence and consequences. The order that things happen, you hit one domino and the rest of them go down the line. However, all of those sequences and consequences in life, we may say why the economy is this way, why our health is this way. It all has to start someplace, right? It starts with us. We're the ones who turn on the light switch. We're the ones that turn on the faucet. We are the ones that open a door to let things in. We're the ones that lock a door to keep things out. And boy, can you hear this on many levels, like physically the door, but also mentally in our head. We can lock the door, or we can open the door, whatever's coming in. We can turn on the light, or we can sit in the darkness, right? We can turn on that faucet and be in the flow, just so we turn on the water faucet in our own room. Jesus told a story about choose this day who you will serve, that we cannot serve two masters. We can't say yes, yes, and no, no. They kind of cancel each other out. We need to decide where our thinking is aligned. We need to choose how we're going to respond. We need to activate that ability of ours. So think about it. What were you thinking? How many times have we said that to somebody? How many times have we said that to ourselves? What was I thinking when I did that? I mean, that is so literal. That's the question we really need to ask ourselves. Are we on the side of the problem, or are we on the side of the solution? What are we thinking about? Are we really focused on the awfuls and taking score, tallying up how awful this is? And boy, do things ever collect into that little basket? Or thinking of the problems of the idea of solutions, that wherever there's a problem, we know there's a solution. It has proven itself time and time again. If there is a problem, there is a solution. Solution is usually even in the problem. It's very clever how the universe does that, sets us up. Our thoughts are very effective, and this one I want you to, that frog will stay with you. If you realize how powerful your thoughts are, you would never think a negative thought. Whatever is happening in our lives and in even the greater world, it all started with us, with thoughts. Thoughts translating into actions, all started with us. We are the beginning of all the sequences and consequences out there. So I want you to do just a little bit of math on yourself. To ask, are you minusing yourself or are you plussing yourself? Are your thoughts saying, oh, I really messed this up, I'm not so good about this, or you're saying, wow, you really got stamina, you tried on that, are you building yourself up? And really, it doesn't hurt to take an occasional inventory, doing the math on where our thoughts are. You could do it at the end of the day before you go to bed, do your gratitude stuff, going, how was I talking to myself today? How was I talking about the world today? Or even at the end of a conversation, you get off the phone with somebody and you go, oh, wait a minute, that conversation really kind of went down into the minusing stuff about how it was into the awful category. Or you get off the phone and go, oh, that was a really great conversation. We talked about some really good stuff, some really positive things. When I say positive and negative, that doesn't mean bad and good. It's more like just an electrical charge. Electrical charges, there's positive and negatives. Not one bad and one good. It's just the balance of things, the yin and yang. We're in a relative world, so there's all these opposites. That's all that it is. So we have thoughts that deplete our energy, and we know it. We've felt it. We start worrying about something. We are fearful from something. Oh, my goodness, we just feel zapped. Our energy just feels like it's drained out of our feet. Worry will do that a lot. It's like having a hole in your bucket. You can never keep that bucket full if you've got a lot of worry thoughts going on. On the other hand, we have positive thoughts where our energies are increased. One of the best ways, if you're tired, to get energy is just simply to laugh. Just simply to laugh. Have you ever noticed that when you start laughing? That something happens. It's like it stirs you up and you can become lighter. And there's just more of you in the energetic realm. Such a simple thing as laughter. Babies laugh so much, no wonder. How many times you said to a little kid, if I could only bottle all this energy you have. But think how many times they laugh. They're just a running, energy generator. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Fun, fun, fun. Life is good. Life is good. Jesus said that for everyone who has been given will be given more. But for those who have not, they lose even what they have. And that was one of those Bible verses I really thought, this sucks. I mean, that is such an awful thing to say to somebody that doesn't have. You're going to lose even more. And for those that have, that they get more, we call that greedy, right? If we already have a lot. But what we're talking about here is consciousness. And we have an attitude that all of our needs are met. Our needs are met. We have a belief, such a strong belief, that we are in lack, that we're always going to come up $1 short and a day late, that we do not have the ability to meet our very own needs. The universe will respond in kind. If that's what we believe, that will continue to happen. I went through a time of this. Every time I got to a break-even point, I got the MasterCard paid off, something would happen. The car would break down. There would some medical thing. I mean, I just couldn't believe it every single time. Thank God I ran into a New Thought church about that time before I dug myself way down. But it was like I just kept this little debt puppy dog with me all the time. Almost like I didn't feel I had the right to be happy, to be comfortable, to feel secure, that I always felt like I was back in the caveman days, running away from the wild animals and the unsafe things that were around me out in the world. Until you finally get that shift and understand you're cooperating with that outer world. That there is enough if we learn to get our perspective shifted, to focus in. Very much like, did you have I'm sure as a kid you had one of those little magnets, and you go around the house, usually red and white or red and blue, and you'd see what it would stick to. Our brains send out an energy that is very much like a magnet. And those little metal filings that would come up and attach to the magnet, the same thing happens with the vibrations within our world. When we're vibrating, it just draws more of the same to us. And if you were to take a whole bunch of metal filings on the end of the magnet, and if you shake it, some of the things that were kind of loose, that weren't attached really well, would shake off. But the ones that were solidly connected would stay, no matter what the outer circumstances were. Think of the same things happening with our thoughts. Each of us have heard thoughts that immediately bounced off. That didn't resonate with us, doesn't work for me, and it didn't take up any space in your head. You just let it go, not a big deal. But then there's some other ones that kind of hang out there that, I don't know, maybe you heard it when you were 6 years old, and it just took up roots. And this is more tenacious than a dandelion. It just keeps coming back. You pull it, it keeps coming back. This is one of these generating roots, and it's just holding on there really, really strongly. Love this little meme that says, stay away from negative people because they have a problem for every solution. It was funny. Last night somebody called my wife, and they were she was trying to help them, and every suggestion that she made got shot down. So there's some phone calls, you're just there to listen. They're asking for suggestions, but really don't want it because right now their magnet is totally into repelling. Nothing is going to stick. It's just all going to be repelled on that. Interesting thing about divine laws is that you can't make it work. You can't force it to work. It's not like fixing a lawnmower. Think about it. Can you make gravity work? Nothing I can do to make gravity work. All these things are sitting on the table, even though we're going around the universe at this amazing speed and circling, but they're there because gravity works, not because I made it. Gravity is making everything stay at the table. Gravity is keeping us attached here in this room. It's the same way with divine law. We don't make it work. We find ways to work with it, to align ourselves with it. So the more we understand about how the universe works, the more in alignment we can be. So divine laws is not magic. I love Mickey and the Sorcerer's Apprentice there when he decided to take on all the power and it got out of hand. It's not alchemy. It's not conjuring. Ex nihilo means making something out of nothing as an illusion. As an illusion, because we know that there is no thing. We talked about that last week with quantum physics. It's not a sleight of hand. It's not a trick. It's not something manipulative. You can't manipulate the universe. All you can do is find a way for yourself to get in alignment with the laws. Okay, change our consciousness to be in alignment with the ceaseless activity of divine love, healing life, prospering substance. So as we work with these laws, it's to change our consciousness to be in alignment with healing life, with love, with the abundance of the universe, with all these abilities of choices, with all these things that we can attract into our life experience. And it's not a straight line. Many times we get into unity, we know about affirmations, we affirm these things, and we think it's abracadabra language that makes it true. No, we affirm it because it is true. But just because we got the affirmation down, why aren't I healed? Why is my bank account filled? Why don't I have that perfect relationship? Because it's not just as simple as our thoughts. We do not live in silos. We live in community. So there are thoughts in race consciousness that sometimes are more embedded in us than we ourselves realize. So when we may be doing the work on one level, there's another level that still needs cleaning out. And that's really tricky to find. Because if the whole world believes this, and you think, it just seems like it's part of you. You can't even believe that you can take it out and work with it and raise that thought up. There's also, I think, a tipping point in physical laws. Universal laws can't be broken. At some point, the body gets past that tipping point of being healed again. At some point, a relationship may have so much pain that it's past the tipping point of being able to bring it back. So, you know what I'm saying? There's just that point of no return. And that's not a bad thing. When you get past the point of no return, what happens is you're going to face another direction. You're going to go into an evolutionary morphing, a transformation. All part of an unfoldment of life in the universe. And then our own story, our own mind does hold onto a lot of stories as truth. I know it was probably my early 20s when I got it, that I was carrying around a lot of superstitions from my family. That, you dropped a spoon, you're going to have a disappointment. Why? Or still today, if I step on a crack in the sidewalk, and who came up with these nursery rhymes for kids? They are horrific. you know there's been children that have come home and their mother has fallen and her back is painful and they're going, oh no, look what I did to my mother. So we have some of these things floating around too, even though we are doing our best to align with the truth of the situation. The question really to ask ourselves, if we are tuning ourselves to the infinite or to the indefinite. The indefinite, this capricious universe that can change its mind, that supports us if we do the right incantation, if it likes us. No, I mean, these are all stories that we make up. We're to that deeper level where it's infinite. It's non-judgmental. All it does is be, and all we need to do is be in alignment. There's also this other thing called luck. Anybody have any lucky talismans they carry with them? I've been known to carry a little stone around or a feather. It appeals to me, and it just feels like this is special. The universe just said something to me. It's smiling on me today. I'm back in the capricious universe that, I'm getting favor today, right? Emerson even said, the dice of God are always loaded. And I think that's true, but it's not a guessing game which way it's loaded. It's always loaded towards life. It's always loaded towards the infinite. It's the only thing that it's moving against is our perceptions of negative, meaning bad. Our perceptions of there's pain waiting for us to happen. Our just dues, that life is all suffering. And think of languaging that we have around luck. Break a leg as a sign of success. Isn't that one of the weirdest statements? Down on your luck, go ahead and change your luck. Boy, that was a bad break. I mean, we throw this idea of luck, even though we may not think that we're superstitious. Our language often seeps into these little phrases within this race consciousness of humanity. And do you remember Rowan and Martin, some of you, years ago, they had the Fickle Finger of Fate award that they would give out. And how many of us, if we really looked at our belief system and got everything out on the table, and that's hard to do, but how much of it is a little bit of kismet or fate? How much of it is preordained destiny, that there's just a little belief back there that why fight the current because I'm destined to do this? I mean, those are those kind of stories that we carry with us, and it's not the truth at all. We always have our respondability. This does not change. Luck is law under conscious knowledge. Luck is law under conscious knowledge. When we understand the laws, we allow our minds to become that magnet to move in that direction, to align with the truth. We're not making it true. We're aligning with what is already true. And I love to just see how science is so reflecting spirituality. What a brilliant time to be alive, that people can actually show us proof of what we're talking about, that it's not all made up, right? It's all, so there's a term called entropy. Entropy is the measure of disorder of a system. And the less organization something has, the less energy it has. A messy desk, because that's one of my common areas of living. When the desk gets messy, it doesn't have enough energy. I have to give energy into it to get things ordered to work with it. So I love this little thing of entropy. You see how the word is dissipating? So now that we know that there is no actual thing in the world, that last week I was talking about how everything is a wave of vibration. There are no particles. All particles are is perhaps where waves cross, and we get to see them for an instant. And though our senses are so convinced of this story of the material world, we know that below that, the metaphysics, beyond the physical of it, it really is just all movement. So we have something that starts losing energy, that can't hold energy. Think of our minds sometimes get entropic, that we don't have the energy to do anything. But there is another theory that talks about syntropy, and that is that there's a natural tendency for forms, or you want to say waves, vibrations, to form into higher levels of organization. That's a natural tendency, that life itself, Albert here, he was a Nobel Prize Peace Prize winner. He said, the innate drive in living matter to perfect itself. Wow. That there is an innate drive in living matter, and we are living matter, to perfect ourselves. So we like to work on things, and I think perfection is that whole idea of expressing the laws of the universe more beautifully, expressing more love, expressing more interconnectedness, expressing a higher form of organization that supports each other instead of dissipates each other. The imbuto that Reverend Thandi was speaking about, I am because we are. Some days it feels like as humanity we're into this great entropy, that we're losing a lot of energy. Then other times, moments even like Sunday, we come together, we sing together. What a great expression of syntropy. You can feel the energy shift. We pray together, the energy shifts. We have coffee together, the energy shifts because we're coming to that higher form of organization. So as Eric Butterworth says in his book, Spiritual Economics, your fortune does begin with you. He's not the only one that said it. Shakespeare said, the fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves. We are the underlings. Walt Whitman, henceforth I ask not good fortune, I myself am good fortune. Getting that we are the co-creators of our life and our life experiences. So affirmation time, let's affirm together. I am the most important person to God, for I am God's living enterprise. I think maybe one more time on that. I am a most important person to God, for I am God's living enterprise. Have you ever thought that before? That you are a most important person to the universe, because you are the universe's living enterprise. And with that thought, we're going to go into a time of meditation. Greg will lead us in another morning prayer.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am stronger every moment of the day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks on my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that kept me down.
We take a deep breath, just like we started at the beginning of service. Take a shallow breath. Just breathe. Whatever that feels like for you, to have that breath, to choose that breath, to choose the very molecules that you're bringing into your body. And as you relax into that process, closing your eyes if that's comfortable. Oh, relaxing the body into this moment. Gravity is doing its work. Nothing to fret about. We are firmly planted right here, right now. Our daily word today was possibilities. And this is the land in which we reside. That consciousness of possibilities. What a blessing that it is not our responsibility to know how. It's simply our responsibility to know that it is possible. That there are ways yet unrevealed to us. That there are paths yet to be made. That there are still ideas that are new astounding, waiting to burst forth. Each of us in our lives have our own personal goals for this moment, for this day, what we plan to do between now and our next birthday, or the next holiday. Legacies, receiving a peace of mind and heart, sharing a love without conditions or bounds. And as we sit in the possibilities with whatever it is that is our vision and our dream in this moment, I'd like to share the words of Thoreau, who understood the process of aligning with that divine mind, with aligning with the universal laws that constantly operate and constantly are there to bless us. He wrote that if one advances confidently in the direction of their dreams and endeavors to live the life which they have imagined, they will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. They will pass an invisible boundary. New, universal, and more liberal laws will establish themselves around and within, and they will live with the license of a higher order of things. And so today, we become more conscious of making choices that invite entropy, chaos, loss of energy, and move into that realm of possibilities of syntropy. That there is an innate movement within each of us to organize into that higher level our thoughts, our conscious awareness, our respondability. And with this movement, we become that divine sparkler in our universe, sharing our light in glorious ways, sharing the love, sharing that richness of life itself. For we are not indefinite, we are an expression of the infinite. And so it is. Amen.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am stronger every moment of the day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and true and free. As I continue walking in this mystery.
Thank you. So, spiritual practice for this week you might want to try is just to take one step in the direction of your dreams. One step. It doesn't have to be a giant step. It can be a teeny step, but that one move in the direction of your dreams, because you are your fortune, you are your health, you are your happiness, you are your finances. It all begins with us. So let's start a really awesome sequence of consequences here. Next consequence we get is with Rachael. Because we get to do this together as other people. How powerful that is.
People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. We're children needing other children, and yet letting a grown-up pride hide all the need inside, acting more like children than children. Lovers are very special people. They're the luckiest people in the world. With one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul says you were half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst, but first be a person who needs people. People who need people are the luckiest people in the If one person, one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul says you were half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst, but first you please the person who needs people. People who need people are the luckiest people in the world.
Thank you, Rachel. That was beautiful. Now is the time we create a circle of generosity by acknowledging and sharing of the blessings we have received. Giving is a matter of heart, not of wealth. If you are giving in person, you can place your love offering in the glass jar on the table. Or if you're using a credit card, you can use the QR code on the screen to give your support through PayPal. Whether or not you are sharing a financial gifts this week, we invite you to affirm the sacred exchange by placing a hand over your heart or using an affirmation token from the bowl or on your table. We bless our gifts as we share of our love and our treasure by affirming together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I praise, give thanks, and am glad. Our circle of generosity includes gratitude to every one of you who support Unity with their loving gifts. Our circle of generosity grows even larger as we share those gifts with others. As a tithing ministry, a portion of our tithes is shared with the local charitable organizations that inspire and bless us. For the third quarter of this year, we will be sharing with Ellie's Place and the Boys and Girls Club of Lansing. Both organizations serve our youth in ways that support them as they journey through life. Let us bless these organizations and affirm our blessings as we sing, I Am So Blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Let us take a moment to deeply immerse ourselves in gratitude by collectively blessing the gifts received on your table. Let's affirm together, given in love, received in love, we dedicate these gifts to do the will and the work of Holy Spirit. And so it is. Amen. Today, following service, Dan and Carol Maynard are holding their class on A Course in Miracles in the activity room. This week's topic is the new interpretation. All are welcome to join the group. Every Sunday this summer at 9:45 is group meditation in the upper lodge. Everyone is welcome. You do not need to be a skilled meditator to benefit. However, you will likely find a little more peace and harmony inside. And if you would like to lead a group meditation, contact me. This Saturday, the prayer practitioners are meeting at 10 a.m. and then at 10:30, there's a class on Discover Your Divinity. All are welcome to join the monthly class meeting. If you are interested in joining the prayer practitioners team, speak with Reverend Grace. It's an amazing way to be of service. Our Founding Restoration Fund is running for the summer. When you contribute to the fund, please mark your donation for the Founding Fund and also note if there are any specific items you'd like to sponsor. There's an information sheet on the Founding Fund for repairs around the campus. Feel free to take copies with you for easy reference. Also, this Unity Summer Unity Pulse is on your table. It lists all of our summer events, so check it out. You can always refer to Unity's website for the church calendar for all scheduled events. And you can sign up for weekly e-news to keep current on what's happening here. Following the service, prayer practitioners will be available to pray with you one-on-one. They'll gather here by the lectern wearing purple stoles. Let's create a consciousness of community as we sing I Choose Love, followed by the prayer of protection. Feel free to stand in place or join the circle. Reminder to be respectful when taking someone else's hand.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace on the planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present is what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. I choose love. We choose love. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God is within us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.